Welcome! I am so excited that you're here today. I am your host, Tonya Hofmann, and as always, I have an incredible guest star today, Miss Toni Kaufman. Hey, Toni.
Hi, Tonya. How are you? We have almost the same initials, Tonya Hoffman with Toni Kaufman. I love it.
I know, I was going to say, wow, that is really similar. And we're both kind of gorgeous and blonde, so there you go. So we're going to hear from Toni in just a minute because she's got a wealth of knowledge that I want to give to you. But remember that we are looking for speakers right now for our London conference. So if you're like, ooh, I'd like to be an international speaker, there you go. You can jump on that and take advantage. So go to publicspeakers with an S conference.com to sign up today to be a speaker from 10 minutes all the way up to 60 minutes. All right, so let's get over to Miss Toni. So Toni, I know you're like an amazing expert to help people actually get over their fears and feel safe enough to get on stage. How do you do that?
Well, it's funny because, everybody always has the usual, think of everybody sitting in their underwear in front of you, that kind of baloney. But the reality is that there's nothing sexier in this world than a person who can speak with confidence. And the only way you're going to speak with confidence is if you rehearse and write and try and rehearse and practice. I mean, even the folks on TEDx, they have to practice their talk like 90 times before they're allowed to get on that stage. So that's the secret. I mean, that really is the secret, is having confidence. And then the other thing that I usually talk to people once they have it is, how do they play the memory games? So, this is the main thing. This is your first topic. This is your second topic. Then your fourth topic, and then your fifth topic, and then you get it all together and go yum, yum, yum. So I kind of put people into those perspectives, but that's all covered actually in a course we're going to launch soon called The Celebrity Within. And it teaches little memory secrets like that I think people will really have fun with, because it really is a game. And if you don't feel like you're playing, then you're not doing what you really love. That's how I think.
I know. I'm like, people always ask, Tanya, what's the peel? What do you take to get over all the shakes and stuff? I'm like, look, you do it the way I did it. And this is the only way that works, is you learn by doing and redoing and tweaking and adjusting. And just like what you said, you've got to continuously make it work.
Right. And there really isn't anything to be afraid of it. I'll tell people the story. I had a job interview one time, and one of the questions in the job interview was, what would be your absolute stopping point where you couldn't go one more step? What is it that would make you do that? And I thought, history of my life went on through my head, and the only thing I could come up with is a frog. I'm deathly afraid of frogs, and if I was walking down the street and a frog jumps up, I ain't moving. That's it. That was my thing, frog.
Of all things in the world.
I mean, what could be worse than that, right? What's your stopping point? What would you not be able to move, another foot in front of you, right?
I know, because speaking used to be such a huge fear for me. And I would get up and I'd shake and sweat and forget, who am I, and people would have a hard time because they just see us today. They don't see the journey. I always love showing people, this was me in 2005. I know. Ladies, this is what I wore to a holiday gala outfit. Okay, this was
that's your basic little black pixie dress.
Exactly. I'm like, seriously. So if I could do it, anybody could do it.
Really, honestly, I mean, as a casting director and as a producer, the reality is, if you're not shaking and you don't have butterflies, you're no good. I mean, I still shake. I mean, right before you go on stage, I have this 5 things that I do before I ever walk on the stage, but you're still up there shaking, and you're still up there holding it, and taking you from that little bundle of nerves to the performer that you need to be when you're on stage is just a quick 5-step process. So it's not impossible to do, but if you're not that way to start with, you're not going to be any good. that you have to be. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know. I had to get over. I was like, if I stand up every Friday, okay, so this is my process, is I hated getting up on Fridays. So I thought if I force myself to get up on Fridays and speak, I mean, not only am I torturing myself, but I'm actually going to get over it. And that's what I did. I started a networking group and I stood in front of 20, 25 lovely people that grew to 80 people that kept growing statewide. And you never know what's going to happen when you get over your fears.
and that's how we met. I mean, I was so impressed with you and the Public Speakers Association that you got together, and you're in Austin and I'm in Houston, and it's so funny. But every time we go to these speaker conferences, you can count on one hand the amount of people from Texas that appear at these. And I just got back from the New Media Summit, Steve Olsher's event, that has all the podcasters and the icons of influence, and all that kind of stuff. And I was really amazed that there was like 7 people there from Texas. And then I realized, well, he did the one in September. He did it in Austin.
Ah.
So he corralled the Texans and then took them up to Tampa in September, in just last month. And so I was really impressed. But I mean, Texas is in the room, man. We gotta get more people from Texas in there, I tell you.
I know. It's funny because doing this conference in London, I have the people in London going, "We're going to have it next year." I'm like, "How about Texas?" And they're like, "Oh, do we get to ride a horse?"
Yes, yes.
So guess where I'm going to be in 2020, and I got to figure out how to get horses involved. I don't know.
Oh, well, be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
I mean, they're headed towards the place. Oh my God! It used to be the Astrodome. Now it's the Reliance Center. The whatever NRG. They're getting ready to head out to the rodeo. So you've got a lot of horses on the freeways in Houston right now.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your nonprofit to kind of help people with their stage, getting on stage and having a safe environment. Because I know a lot of people, especially it's their first time or their first few times, it's overwhelming sometimes. So having a safe space is just so amazing.
And that's exactly where my heart was at. The nonprofit is called cityspeaks.us. And I'm not opposed to anybody in Canada starting one either, but City Speaks was created to offer a safe stage and space all over the U.S. so that people would have a place where they can go practice their 5-minute, their 3-minute, or even their 1-minute pitch. And it's so important for small businesses, for authors, healers, coaches, and speakers to just go to a place, not where we want to teach them how to talk, but where we want to encourage them to share their stories, because that's the reality. I mean, sharing your story is so powerful. And I mean, you saw what happened in the Me Too movement. I mean, that just kind of blossomed and grew and went crazy. And I've actually had 15-year-olds show up who had never ever talked in front of their life, all the way to 80-year-olds who have written 5 books and they're not out yet, but they're going to make incredible screenplays once we get them out there. And but she didn't know how to publish. So I mean, just incredible stories have come in the Houston area by doing City Speaks. So we call it Houston Speaks, we call it Austin Speaks, we call it San Antonio Speaks, we've got Galveston Speaks, and so we really are looking for people who want to encourage others. I mean, it really is a movement for me. And I want to open up the stages and the cities to just host. And there's 2 ways to host it. You can do an online Zoom meeting like this with 20, 30, 40 people and give everybody a chance, a 5-minute or a 3-minute. Or you can do a live gathering. For example, we met last year at Papados. And so, I love the wine, women, and conversation kind of thing going on. But that really is a cool way to have people talk. And we videotaped them all. So we had all these little stories of them that we post up on Facebook on the Speaks events. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for women all over the U.S. who are brave enough to host a City Speaks. And then just give people a chance to sign up and register and encourage them. And now you're not allowed to do any coaching. or teaching, so to speak, but we are allowed to have people give them two things. Number one, I loved your talk because, and number two is this is how it impacted me. So it surges and it regenerates and it gives people, just a little bit more power and confidence, which is really what I see as the background for City Speaks. And that's kind of what we just launched. So I'm happy to talk to anybody about that.
I'm so glad you're doing this, because there's so many people that I meet that they just need that little boost of, I was on stage, because sometimes people have done different things, work environments, speaking in front of the PTA, but it's different when it's all the eyes are on you for you. There's a different feeling for that.
Sure. Yeah, no, there is. And it's very rewarding, especially when you have people who are supporting you. No matter what you say on that stage, you're going to have people supporting you. We've had some incredible gender diversity. We've had some transitions. We've got a very LGBT friendly, community. I've heard from people who have their own travel agencies, so they not only pitch for themselves, but they pitch for their business, which is also super important, especially for small business and entrepreneurs to be able to clarify what a friend of mine calls it her intromercial. So in 90 seconds, you got to get an intromercial out there, to tell people what you do so they can go contact you and buy your stuff, right?
Yes, love that. Oh my gosh, there's so many things we need to do together. It's incredible. So I know, because I want to connect with you more. How can everyone connect with you? Do you have something free that you'd like to offer our listeners today?
Actually, for all of our speakers who are listening to you, I would like to gift you a really exciting, cool speaker bio that we will make for you, so that there's your testimonial, so that you can show people who you've worked with, what you've done, and you know what? That next time that you attend one of these wonderful conferences and someone doesn't show up and the speaker's looking to fill in a 15-minute talk, guess we'll be ready. You take your speaker bio with you and they'll put you up on the stage. So, because that's really that's your calling card. That's what tells people what you talk about and how they can get a hold of you. So how do they get that? They go to Toni, T-O-N-I, Kaufman is K-A-U-F, like in Frank, M-A-N, and that's ToniKaufman.com. And just, click on the meet and greet there. Let's set up a 20-minute conversation and let's see what we can do for you and how we can help you. And you just say that Tonya sent you and you're going to get a free speaker bio done for you. So that should be a lot of fun. And don't worry if you don't have 1,000 places where you've been or all the silly, I've been on radio and TV now for going on 50 years. So so don't worry if you don't have all of that behind you. We can still make you look like magic. So I'd love to talk with them and I'd love to hear from them. And something new just added is, if you will text, this is cute, you get your phone and you text to 474747 and you text the word Toni, T-O-N-I, and you'll get all my information. So we're doing some easy texting for people to be able to communicate with us.
Love it. All right, everyone, go get connected to Toni. Bring her in to have her on your next show. She's amazing. She's someone that you just don't want to follow. You want to get to actually know. So reach out and say hello to her and take advantage of that speaker sheet. Oh my gosh, why not? People always like, well, just do it. All right. Stop thinking about it. Thank you, Toni, for being on today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you next time on the Share Your Message TV show.